What's going on, everybody? Chrome on Rust here. We're going to be taking a look at a 100 mil monk set that I built. Now, I don't know what MP this is going to do. I haven't even threw the gear on my monk yet. I did bid on some of these items. Now, I'm not going to be buying it all right before your eyes or anything. I'm just going to walk through the gear, show you the steps that I was going through, where I put my budget and everything. Get to see the prices. Also, I'm going to be using my own gems in this set when I do go ahead and try it out. That will be right before your eyes. So, just so you know, I'm going to be using my own gems. Hunter's Loop, this is our first ring right here. Spent 3 million on this. Now as decks, we're going to be a fire res monk using one with everything. Pretty standard on monks, I do know. Not everybody uses it, but 9% attack speed. We are going to be going for very fast attack speed on this monk, so you can get back your spirit nice and fast. Life on hit, that's real good. Crit chance, a little low. Wish it could be a little higher. Wasn't able to get a ton of crit damage on this build. Now our next item here is going to be an Echoing Fury. Crit hit damage, kind of high fear. 20 is the max, 10 is the lowest. I really don't like anything over 13 or 14, but with a budget like this, beggars can't be choosers. This was the best DPS. It does have the 0.4 attacks per second, 0.24 attacks per second. 0.25 is going to be the highest. Once again, 12.5 mil. Went ahead, picked up some in his temperance. We are going to want that 2-piece set bonus for the extra 130 dexterity that is going to be giving. We're going to be going for another set bonus as well. Play mugs, I'm sure you know what it is. Fire Wards is going to be our next item. Spent 5 mil on this. This was a buyout item. I think I bought out like 4 items. Dexterity, Vitality, Fire Res, All Res, Armor, Regen. That's pretty standard for your Vile Wards, especially when you're using one with everything on a budget monk. 100 mil, it's not like a small budget or anything, but it's alright. Got some strength and armor on this Nat's Reflection. This is going to be the other set that we're going for, is the Natalia's. 7% crit is awesome. That's just really good. So we have, once again, 9% attack speed, 4.5% crit chance. Could be higher, but for under 10 mil, wasn't too bad of a deal. If I were to try to buy that out, I think I'd be spending about 30 or so. The current state of things. The Talias, this is where we're going to be getting our 2-piece set bonus from. Is going to be the boots and the rig. This has some strength on there. The dexterity roll will go from like 90 to 100, and then from like 170 to 200. And then you're going to get one additional stat. The one additional stat that I got was strength vit. So dex vit would be your best roll on this. You could go for like fire res or something like that if you wanted as well. It's going to be definitely cheaper than the vitality, but I've already looked through this gear, kind of eyeballed it and everything, and I'm a little low on vitality, so if you're watching this, I probably want to end up being a little bit low, but I haven't tried it on yet, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to use some vitality gems in this set, probably, definitely in the helm, life percent. This is the weapon here, offhand. It's going to be going with our Echoing Fury. It's pretty standard. You got your life steal, your damage, or crit hit damage, excuse me, socket, over 1,000 damage, that's alright. Might have spent a little bit too much on it. I had one similar that was like 13 mil, but it was like 2.3 life steal. Had like 1 less crit damage and 1 more base damage. So I was like, whatever, 7 mil, we'll go with the higher life steal, up our survivability. Another place we're going to be getting our crit hit damage is going to be from Witching Hours. Got the max attack speed on this, close to max crit damage. Over 100 vitality, which is good, like I said, because we are going to be low. Some fire res, once again, some more all resistance. Gloves, over 200 dex. That's pretty nice because I was trying to find something kind of like this instead of going the crit hit damage route, because it's pretty much what everybody does. They go the trifecta route. But with dexterity, you can get really high on the gloves. Can't get high on the gloves, okay? The dexterity can get high on the gloves. No glove sniffing or whatever you kids are doing nowadays. Okay, crit hit damage is good, you know, 9. This is actually the only item that I missed 1% attack speed on. All the other ones are maxed out. If I were to use the wizard chest, that would actually boost me another 9%. But other than getting attack speed on your weapons, this is the most you're going to be able to get, is what I got here. I think it's like 71, and I think 70, 80, 81 would be the highest then. Not including weapons, once again. Amulet, average damage, which is good because it's got some pretty low dex and the average damage is nice. I did want to get a Unity. I know I already went through the rings and everything, but Unities are going to be really good. But on this budget, you're not going to be able to. On Unities, you can get Dex. They always have crit chance, life on hit, average damage, and then you can get another stat on there as well, like attack speed or something like that. Those are pretty good as also. Just something to look into if you can find one. I almost found something within this budget, a Unity, but just wasn't able to. And once again, those are rings, not amulets. MPlvl here, once again, 9% attack speed, life percent can get up to 12%, so this is the lowest. 200 dex is going to be our max when this only gets one roll on there. It goes from 170 to 200. 55 fire res, that's pretty good, especially when it was only a 1 mil, and I got that on the buyout. And then the Lukuni Prowlers here, 6.5 mil. I did have a slightly better pair that had arcane res on there that I had bought previously because I didn't know which elemental resistance I was going to be going. Had like an extra 0.5% crit chance. It was about 6 mil and had more dex on there. So be on the lookout for those. But like I said, this was a buyout, so I'm kind of happy with it. So I'm going to go ahead and send this all to my stash. We can go ahead and check out the gear. I'm not a great player with the monk, but we are going to test it out. And you like that? That was my monk impression because I'm going to be punching crap. So, but bye on. All right, let's go ahead and load up the game here. So I want to give myself a chance to try out the gear, see what MP I thought was going to be most efficient to farm on. Now you're going to be able to farm an MP10, it is just not going to be efficient. Now before I go over all the stats and we get into a little bit of gameplay, I do want to talk about the chest first because I completely forgot. Now 181 dexterity, that's really good, 200 being the max. 43 vitality, really bad. Wish it could have been a lot higher. Like I said, this gear set is going to be lacking quite a bit in vitality. 51 fire res. This chest was a little under 600k, so it is really budget. You should be able to get something like this pretty similar on your monk. Now if you want to get something more expensive, you're working with a bigger budget, you could definitely go the way of all resistance, but then I definitely recommend getting over 60 unless you're just completely not using one with anything at all because you want to use a couple of the other passives and it doesn't allow you to use the one with everything. Then I could see getting all resist under 60 if you can't afford it, but you're probably going to be spending about 10 million on a chest like this, similar with all resist, and the dexterity is probably going to be a little bit lower, so just keep that in mind. And vitality, life percent, and reduced damage from melee attacks is all really low on this one. So for our stats now, we have 43k damage, we have 44% crit chance, nothing crazy, but not too bad. We have 407 on the crit hit damage. Now, like I said, that is pretty low. It's pretty close to 1 to 10 ratio, which isn't bad. But having extra crit hit damage, you definitely can't complain. But for the attack speed, 3.05 attacks per second on our main hand here. That is really exciting for me. I was going to say insane, but that's not insane. That's exciting for me. It's insane for me as well. But I've never had a character that punched that fast. Now our offhand is going to be 2.68 attacks per second. Our armor is a little over 5,000. We're going to be getting some extra additional armor because we are using Seize the Initiative. Going to turn 50% of our dexterity into armor for us. So that's going to add some tanky stats. We're going to be using one with everything like I was saying. So we're going to have a nice flat number on our all resist. And we're going to be using the Guardian's Path. It's going to be giving us an extra 15% chance to dodge. Just so you know where some of these tanky stats are coming from. 648 all resistance. Our dodge chance is going to be 51%. So half the attacks, we're going to be dodging them. That's pretty nice. And the armor is a little over 5k like I was saying. We have 397 life per hit, 3% life steal, a little bit of regen from our Vile Wards, and there was one other item that did have it on there. And we have 25% movement speed. Now if you've been paying attention, we actually have 36% movement speed. 12 is going to be from our Nats. 12 is going to be from our Innas. And the other 12 is going to be from our Lukunis. But for whatever reason, Blizzard devs, they're like, you know what? 36%, you're just moving too fast and you need to slow down just a little bit. So we're going to cut you by 11%. So 25% is the cap. Yeah, whatever. So that's the details there. I am going to go over the skills just real quick. I'm no monk expert. Now I am going to be using Fist of Thunder, Quickening. Pretty standard. That is going to be the fastest way all day, every day for the monk to gain some spirit. Now Wave of Light with Empowered Wave, actually on the higher MP. I'm going to show you a little bit of MP10 play so you can just kind of get a feel for it. I'm going to be using Blinding Light. It's going to be a stun. It's actually pretty nice. Cyclone Strike, just to kind of suck all the mobs in towards us so we don't have to quite kite around as much. It's going to do a little bit of damage, and I'm using the reduced cost of Spear on that. Serenity, really, does this need any introduction? Ascension, I'm using that just for the extra duration. Sweeping Wind, Cyclone Strike on there. That's pretty standard for the monks as well. That's little blue tornadoes that you see procking out of the monk all the time, whatever he crits, or percentage of the time when he crits. That's what that is. Mantra of Conviction, that is what I'm going to be using on the lower MPs, but on the higher MPs, just show a little bit of MP10 play. Going to be using Divine Protection, just a 8% damage reduction if you drop below 25% life. Talked about the passives already. One with everything, the Guardian's Path, and Seize the Initiative. So I'm actually going to take a drink. I'm sorry about this. Mouth was just really dry. So we're going to actually go to Baby Town. The Weeping Hollows, Cemetery of Forsaken, to the Weeping Hollows because we don't want to encounter anything too crazy. And Act 1 is actually a pretty safe area. If you're gearing up, now especially, I wouldn't recommend gearing up for the other acts to be able to like tank Act 4 or anything like that. Now you could if you want, I'm not saying not to, but if you're just going for the experience grind, like I know a lot of people are, just tank up for Act 1 and you're going to be pretty set. Act 4, Act 2, they're pretty deadly. Now, this is the baby zone for... Hopefully I don't die here. I'm trying to play and talk at the same time. I always struggle just a little bit with this. There we go. Use my bells, proc them, pull them back in, suck them in, and stun them again. So I have no idea what I was just talking about. At all. None. I'm an awesome monk. Not really. And our gear is going to be trashed in 3 months, unfortunately. So I wouldn't recommend spending too much on your gear now. I was talking about the experience grind, wasn't I? Diablo 3 is an experience grind and only tank up for Act 1. I guess I pretty much said everything. It's probably... Well, I forgot. On to the next topic. I don't have a topic list. I should have made a topic list. So that's some MP10 farming. I could run around and I guess I'll make her mad. Maybe try to get a couple more. Hopefully not run into an elite. Okay, there's some nasty guys. Let them run over here. I'm not using like anything. I haven't been using my dodge. So it's actually pretty good. Surviving without my mantra in MP10. Once again, only fight the white mobs. If you want to fight elites, I was able to. I was using slightly a more tanky spec than this here. Oh, please don't kill me. I do have Serenity. If I would have died and not popped it, I would have been sad. Yeah, I was using a slightly more tanky spec. I was killing some elites. I encountered a electrified reflect pack. Whew, he was rough. I took him down to about half life, ended up dying. It took me a couple minutes because I'm trying to kite around, wait for the reflect to wear off, and I was just like, you know what? It's just not worth it. So that's some MP10 play. If you want to do it with your buddies, that's about the only way I'd want to use this set, unless you're just strictly killing the white mobs. But if you want to run in, kill some elites, you're going to slow them down, but you shouldn't have too much problem dying, and you can switch some of these out and get a little bit more tanky if you like. Now, I am going to show off a little bit of MP6 play, just so you can see where it's more efficient at. Just drop down to MP6 here, and we'll run to the Fields of Misery. Why not? So the monk, it's pretty fun. I've been playing the barb though. I'm trying to get to Paragon level 100 for Reaper of Souls. I'm level like 96, so got 3 months to do it. It's not going to be too big of a deal. I guess this is my first video since they talked about the release of Reaper of Souls. They announced the release date, I should say. It's exciting news, and I didn't switch out the skills that I wanted to. I'm not going to hold them to it. I am excited for it. I just hope it is going to actually be ready, and we're not going to get a partially incomplete expansion or anything like that with a full game. I don't know. I don't really want to get into that because I don't want to just like think about the past and the things that did happen. Just Blizzard's made some really epic games. I hope they continue to do so. This game is really good. The dynamics, or the gameplay mechanics are just like so fluid. It is insane. Path of Exile were more like this. I'd probably be playing some PoE, not gonna lie. It is a lot more in-depth in terms of build strategies, things you can do, but it just feels a little clunky to me. Now I know people say when you get into the later stages of the game, it gets a little bit better because you're gonna have more move speed, more attack speed, things pick up a little bit, but it's just not the same mechanics, you can definitely tell. So I went ahead and I switched out Empowering Wave just to have a little bit of reduced cost so I can spam my bell a little bit more. And then I'm using Mantra of Conviction with Overall that is going to double the damage on this here. Everything else I'm just going to leave the same. I'm going to go to Fields of Misery, hopefully find a couple elite packs and not too long. So crypt runs, if you don't know what they are, I definitely recommend doing it. That's how I've been leveling up my Barbarian currently. Probably get a... I don't know. I really haven't tested yet, but I know you could do over 200,000 or 200 million XP per hour without a problem. It is going to be a group farming thing, so you see like in the chat all the people that are spamming looking for group crypt runs. If you don't know what they are, I would highly recommend getting involved with them if you are doing the experience grind like I was talking about earlier. How about we throw everything up here and try not to die. There we go. Okay, the dodge chance. I'm used to just seeing my health go down, but sometimes it like goes down in chunks because we're just dodging so many attacks on the monk. I'm not used to that. So yeah, crypt runs really good. You're gonna find the crypts in the Fields of Misery here. You want to do them with groups. If you don't know what they are, like I said, find out. If you'd like me to do a video about it, that wouldn't be a problem. Actually, someone wanted to see a monk video. They wanted to see a monk gearing guide. Said something about it in one of the comments of my videos, and monk guide it is, you know? That's what we're doing here. I kind of wanted to see where the auction house was and everything in its current state. I'm not really finding many elites. And right now, currently, you can actually get some pretty decent gear for cheap. Now, things haven't gotten quite as cheap as I thought, but we're still 3 months out, and a lot of people are playing and knowing that you can actually farm now, get Paragon levels, and it's going to count towards your Reaper of Souls experience. A lot of people, well, I don't know. I don't know the statistics, but a lot of players are coming back, or a few definitely have. I know that for sure. Definitely seen more people on the friends list. Not now, though. There's one person. Still kind of barren on the friends list, not gonna lie, a little bit sad about that. So let's use our Sweeping Wind here and stop being a noob and just find one more elite pack because this farming is taking too long. There's nothing out here. I wanted to find some big groups and some elites. That's why I didn't go to the Festering Woods. But it's pretty barren right here, right now. Right here, right now. So if you'd like your chance, oh, I just died. If you'd like for your chance to win this gear set that I just epically failed on MP6 in, you're going to be able to do so. I am not going to make you post your battle tags in the comments below like I did previously. People had a few issues with it. One of them is players would have to log into the game to figure it out. Now, that's not a huge issue. But the thing that was actually more of a concern than just that was gold farmers have programs and they will just spam you all day. Like, I don't know about you, but I log in and I get about 5, 6, 7 of these a day. It's just time after time after time. I got to the point that I just stopped. I don't decline them anymore. I just want to log in and play. I don't want to decline these gold spammers. So I just slide the bar down really fast to get to my friends list, and everything's all good. And I think after like 30 days or something, they get cleared out of there. If you do send me one, I do like kind of pay attention to the most recent ones. So if you send me a friend's request or something, I should see it. But if I don't, it's because of the gold farmers. Them and their bots. Okay, I just want to find one more elite pack. Just one more elite pack. And not using this. I wasn't using my Sweeping Wind. Wherever the elite pack is. Okay, this is actually a big group of mobs. We'll just kill this. We'll just kill this and call it a day. This is the MP6 play, and you can wipe through things pretty fast. Especially if you're better with the monk than I am. I am not the best with the monk, but clearing out a nice big wave there. No legendaries for me, boo-hoo. Let's go ahead, recall out. So just post in the comments below anything, whatever, you know, if you just want to say hi. If you don't want to enter and you post something, well, I guess you're going to get entered. So maybe I should think of something better. Nope, just post anything in the comments. Not going to make it all difficult. If you don't want to enter and you win, just let me know, and I will select another winner. That's just how we'll run this. If you win and you don't want to win, or if I don't hear from you in about a week, we'll select another winner, and that person will get it. So anything in the comments, be a subscriber. I would appreciate it, and you can win this gear set. Well, that is going to be it for me. I am Chroma Rust for Core Expert Gaming. I am nowhere close to Paragon leveling, so I'm not going to make you guys wait any longer. Just going to head to town, get out of here. Good luck in Reaper of Souls. Don't spend too much on your gear because it is going to be pretty useless in 3 months, or maybe even less whenever Loot 2.0 does come out and the auction house is going to be shut down. Just keep those things in mind. Well, I'm Chroma Rust for Core Expert Gaming. If you have a video about something that you'd like to see, like I said, crypt runs, or if you'd like to see a different gearing guide for a different class, let me know. Let me know about a gold amount. Now, if it's like a 500, 1 bill gold amount, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not that baller. I don't have those kind of funds. You know, like 100 mil, 200 mil maybe, and less, I should be able to cover it. So just let me know. I'm Chroma Rust for Core Expert Gaming. You all have a great day. Hopefully this wasn't too rambly. I'm out of here, and you all have a great day.